everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to give you a classic review. Now, typically, these type of movies I do not watch, but admittedly, I've been meaning to watch this movie for a very long time. I got some extra time on my hands today, so I was just like, fuck it. Browsing through Hulu, browsing through Netflix, browsing through freaking Amazon, browsing through Disney Plus, and I came along a movie that just was on the tip of my tongue. Now, the reason I ended up watching this movie is because it's Disney's announcement that they're doing a live-action Willow TV series. Now, I should have probably was gonna watch Willow and review Willow and kind of get excited for the show that's going to be coming, so that way I know I'm not in the loop. But I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to go watch Willow, see if I liked it or not, see if it diminishes me being like, oh, that's cool. You know, got Warwick Davidson, or Leprechaun. That's what I know Warwick Davidson from, is playing Leprechaun. So, but I ended up getting around to watching a movie that so many people have seen before, the classic Princess Bride. Now, I had never seen Princess Bride, but the thing about that movie is that movie's so iconic and so memorable and so remembered so fondly that so many lines of dialogue came out of that movie. So many jokes and gags and lines came out of that movie. Like it's literally a classic movie. And like sometimes you watch a movie and this happened to me once. The only other time, this happened to me a couple times actually. I'm kind of, kind of downplaying it. This has happened to me a couple times. And like one of the first time things when I watched The Godfather for the first time ever, because I hadn't seen The Godfather, and then I watched The Godfather, and the entire time I'm watching the movie, I'm like, this has the feel of something classic. When I watch Back to the Future, this has the feel of something, like, I feel like I'm watching something classic. Like, I feel like I'm watching an important piece of cinema that is very classic, that is very timely, and it's just like, this is cinema. That's what I felt watching The Princess Bride. Now, are there things in this movie that are highly dated? Yes, there are. There are countless bits of, during the action sequences, there are countless bits where they hit the ground. It is clearly like a pillow or cushion because it even gives, it's not even an imagination. They didn't have CGI like we do now. Nowadays, we can put that cushion there and it gives, and we just edit it out and make it seem like they just went flat on the ground. But that's not, they have it back then, so they had to just hit the cushion. But anywho, there are some things that are dated about this movie. Some of the sequences are pretty dated. Some of the way they do things are pretty dated. But the overall story and the overall characters in the movie, this is a character-driven movie. And it's a very fun movie. This is a good movie to just sit down with the kids and find something to watch. If you're looking for something to watch with your kids while you're right now, I think Princess Bride is a really damn good movie. I mean, to be fair, another reason I checked it out is because when I typed it in the Rotten Tomatoes, the goddamn thing has a 97% score, which made me go, whoa, this shit's gotta be pretty fucking good. And it really was. It was fun. It had so many interesting characters. Inigo Montoya is the man. Literally, I was like, I like this guy. I like Inigo Montoya. I like all the characters in it. I like Wesley. Wesley was fun and smart and clever. There's some really funny moments in this. And it has this sense of humor to it. It has this almost self-aware, not quite not self-aware as in it's winking at the camera, but almost self-aware as in it's like the characters are always in the moment and always just like, yeah, this is fucking crazy, ain't it? I love that, characters in the moment, and because you see that shit in sometimes that's kind of sometimes the problem with a lot of fantasy or a lot of period piece adventure movies. Everyone's so goddamn serious. No one's in the moment realizing how ridiculous what this thing we're doing is ridiculous. At one point, and it has Andre the Giant in it, and he's great in this. Andre. At one point, Andre is climbing up a mountain with 4 people on his back, and Wesley dressed up as the, spoiler alert, dressed up as the Dread Pirate Roberts. It's he's got this whole black get up on, he's climbing the rope too, he's climbing it fast as hell, and he's just huh, there he is, he's climbing it, and he's gaining on us, this, and by the way, they have to be this is the nicest action movie ever. And it's an action movie. It's not the kind of action that you're used to. Today, it's a lot of, gunplay, explosions and whatnot. This is classic period piece, This is like the movie moves. The movie feels when you're watching it like one of those classic books that someone would have made in like the 1950s or something like that, or maybe even further back. It just feels like a classic story. Like I said, it just feels like you're reading something like a King Arthur or something. Like, it just feels classic, and it's a love story at its heart. At its heart, it's a love story. It's a love story that has action adventure wrapped in it, and it's the template for the action adventure. It is the template. You got a love story. You have the main protagonist who's smart, clever, witty, charming, and you like him. He has side characters who might be actually more interesting than him, but he has interesting, distinguishable side characters. He has villains that are he has despicable villains that you don't like, and you don't like them one bit, and you're happy when they get what's coming to them. A happy ending, a love story. It's really like if you were writing, I want to make an action adventure movie that everyone could go see. I want to make an adventure movie that's the thing. It's more of an adventure movie than an action movie. It has action in it, but if you're like, I want to make an adventure movie that everyone can go see and have a good time at, I honestly would. Like, if I saw this in the theaters, I would have had a good time watching it. Honestly, I really had a good time watching this movie. Other than a couple things, like, it doesn't, but it's so self-aware that it's hard, it's almost making fun of you for noticing things that are stupid, because it's like, we noticed that too and we just left it in. Like, that's the vibe you get. When there are silly things in the movie, for some reason, I just get the vibe that the director was like, that was kind of stupid. And the guy was like, I know, right? Let's just leave it in. You just get the feel, it just felt fun. And it is a fun movie, really. If you really want to watch something with your kids or something, in general, this is the ticket. This is the way to go. Check out, if you got Disney Plus, I would check out Princess Bride. It's a classic. It's a classic, really, man. It really is. And I've seen it pop up so many places. Like, one of the memes that came out of this movie that still is perfectly used today is at a certain point, one of the characters keeps saying, inconceivable, inconceivable. That's where that came from. Inconceivable. Every 5 seconds, this guy kept saying that. And at a certain point, I'm just calling Montoya. Old Montoya just looked at him and was like, you keep using that word. I don't think that word means what you think that word means. And I'm like, and that has been used all the time. That meme is always perfect. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Because how many times have we met people who keep saying some shit, and you're just like, you don't even know what that word means. I had a friend yesterday say some shit that made me go, you don't know what that word actually means. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Like I said, perfect adventure movie. Great thing. I believe it is based off of a book, so there you go, because it said based off of a book, but it's not called, Princess Bride. The book is called something else. But thank you guys for my comment. Almost forgot. I'm going to give this movie, it aged pretty well. It had some stuff in it that was cheesy. It had some action sequences that were cheesy, but they were so fun, and the characters are so fun, and the movie's so fun, and slightly dark. It's darker than you think it is. When you see PG-13, you're like, oh, it ain't that bad, man. You talking about dudes getting fucking, stabbed in the gut and blood coming off. It wasn't like gushing, but people were getting fucked up. I gotta give this movie a 9.5. I really enjoyed it. I watched it and it caught me off guard. I was like, I never watched this movie because I thought it was a chick thing. Honestly, it's called The Princess Bride. The front cover is this dude kissing the princess. I was like, But admittedly, it worked out in the end. Admittedly, I ended up watching it and enjoying myself. I can see how some girls would say that what's her name is kind of a damsel in distress, because at a certain point in the movie, it even crossed my mind. I'm like, come on, girl, do something. But it is what it is. That was the time. Those are how those books were written. Those how some books were written for, hundreds of years. That's just how it was written. That's just how it is. She kind of was a damsel in distress in this movie. But it's not that big of a deal to me, because like I said, when you think about the time period, you think about the book itself, you think about those kind of books and that time period. That's like this movie came out in 1987 or some shit like that. So it is what it is. Thank you guys for coming to Come Get Movie Show. Please do like, subscribe. And have you ever seen The Princess Bride? I'm probably the only one who's never seen it. I'm happy that I saw it. And if you have any other suggestions for movies, for classic movies to watch and review, please comment below and let me know. Thank you guys for coming to Come Get Movie Show. Please do like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.